Hi everyone, welcome back to my videos about programming in Go. This video is part 5 of an introduction to web programming. It will cover text template.
Before discussing why we would need text template, let's review the output of the GitHub issue tracker. Recall that GitHub issue tracker is a web service provided by github.com with JSON interface. It allows you to search for programming issues reported on GitHub. You can make a request with a URL like this to access the GitHub issue tracker web service. Then it returns output in JSON format like this, which programs can understand, but is not user-friendly. Then in the previous part, which is part 4 of an introduction to web programming, we wrote the issue.go program that allows the user to access the GitHub issue tracker from the command line instead of from a web browser. The program then displays the output in a text format that shows the details of each issue in a line. This text format is more user-friendly than the JSON format, but it is compact and cannot display more details of each issue. So in this lecture, we will want to write another GitHub issue tracker program named issuesreport.go that works like issue.go but display the output in a nicer format in which the details of each issue are shown in several lines, and each line is for one field, including the field name and the field value. And for this program in particular, we will display 4 fields for the details of each issue, including the number of the issue. This is like the ID, the ID number, and then the user that report that issues, and the title of the issues, and also the age of the issue, that is how long has the issues been reported.
In the previous part of an introduction to web programming, we had learned about JSON or JavaScript Object Notation. JSON provides the simplest possible formatting for web apps. More elaborating formatting for web apps can be done with the two packages text/template and HTML/template. These packages provide a mechanism for substituting the values of variables into a text or HTML template. A template is a string or file containing portions enclosed in double braces, which are called actions. Most of the strings is printed literally, but the action trigger other behaviors, and each action contains an expression in the template language, such as HTML or just a simple plain text.
As an example, we define the following text template for the new GitHub tracker issue program named issuesreport.go. The text template is the string enclosed in the two backticks or bytecodes. Recall that the bytecode indicates raw string literal instead of interpreted string literal. We declare constant text template to store this string value. The reason this string is a text template is because it contains actions, which are substrings started with double open braces and ended with double close braces. Within an action, a dot refers to the current value. For example, the first action in this template is dot total count, which expands to the value of the total count field of the issue search result struct in the GitHub package.
Note that the pair of actions range.items and end create a loop. The text between the range items and ends expands multiple times with the dot bound to successive elements of the items array. Recall that items is a JSON array that is in the output of the GitHub Tracker issue program. Within an action, you can use a vertical bar to make the result of one operation the argument of another operation, analogous to a Unix shell pipeline. For example, in this action, the bar is placed between the dot title operation and the printf function. So the result of the first operation is the current value of title, and the current value of title is made the argument of the second operation, which is the printf function.
In this text template, the vertical bar is also used in the action that shows the age of the issue. In case of age, the first operation gets the value of the create@, field, and the second operation is function days ago, which is defined in the issues report.go program. The value of create@, is of type time.time. The days ago function converts a given time.time value into an elapsed time using the function time.since. In this action, the value of create@, is made the argument of the function days ago. So it converts the time at which the issue was created into the number of days since the issue was created. After creating the text template, we can produce output with the template. Producing output with a template is a two-step process. The first step is to parse the template into a suitable internal representation. Parsing needs to be done only once. The second step is to execute the template on specific inputs. To implement this process, we use the following types and functions in package text/template. The first type is the template struct, which is the representation of a parsed template. Function new takes a string as argument and allocates a new undefined template with the name given in the argument. The second type is funcMap, which is the type of the map defining the mapping from names to function. Is an example of parsing text template from the issues report.go program. First, we call the function new from the text/template package to create a new template with the name issues report. The resulting template is pointed to by the pointer t. Note that here variable t is a pointer to template. Before passing, we need to add function days ago to the set of functions accessible within the template t. This is done by calling function funcs on the template t. Function funcs is a method of the template struct, which means that it is associated with the template type and therefore can only be invoked on a template value using the dot operator. Function funcs takes a func map as argument, and as the elements of the argument map to the template's function map. In case of the GitHub issue tracker program, the func map argument passed to the t.func function is the map that mapped a string days ago to the function days ago. The returned value of function funcs is a template, or more precisely, a pointer to template. So variable t1 points to a new template that can access a function days ago through the string days ago. Then we call function pass on the template t1 to pass the given text template into the template value stored in variable report. Function pass is also another method of the template type. So we can call it on the template t1. It takes a string that stores a text template as argument and returns a template that is a suitable internal representation for the given text template. The text template argument in the call to t1.parse is the constant holding the text template for the issues report.go program. Function parse also returns an error object. Therefore, we have to handle the error before moving on. For error handling, we define function check error, which takes an error object as argument and calls the log.filter function if the error argument is not nil. The log.filter function will display the error message and terminate the program. Note that in the three function calls for passing the text template before error checking, we don't need to refer to t and t1 later. So we can combine these three function calls into just a chain of calls like this. You can learn more about such a chain of calls when we cover methods and interfaces. After passing the given text template into the template report, we can execute it to specific input. In the case of the GitHub issue tracker program, the input is the resulting struct data from calling the search issues function in the GitHub package. That resulting struct data is stored in a variable result, which is of type issue search result struct defined in the GitHub package. Recall that the GitHub dot search issues function also returns an error object, so we need to call function checkError to handle any non-null error. To execute the report template to the input stored in variable result, we call function execute on the template report, passing variable result as the second argument. Function execute is another method of the template type. It takes an io.writer as the first argument and takes any data object as the second argument. Function execute applies the parse template to the specified data object and writes the output to the given writer object. When the writer object is os.stdout, the output is written to the standard output terminal, which is the screen. So the call report.execute with os.stdout in the first argument and variable result in the second argument will insert the struct data from result into the template report and write the output to the screen. Function execute will return an error object. Therefore, we also have to call function checkError to handle any non-null error from calling execute. Here is the complete source code of the issues report.go program. It imports the text/template package to parse and execute text templates. The text template constant is defined at the package level. This program has three functions: days-ago, checkError, and function main. The function main contains the code for parsing and executing the text template. Recall that there are two ways to write code for parsing the text template. The first way consists of three separate function calls, and the second way is a chain of three function calls. Here, the first way is commented out, so we are using the second way to write the code for parsing the text template. The code for executing the template follows the code for parsing. This is how the issues report.go program is run on Windows PowerShell. Note that the results may change from time to time because there are more issues reported every day on GitHub. This is the result obtained at the time of recording this video.
So that's the end of this video. Thank you for watching. After watching this video, you should be able to know how to use a text template to format output of a web app. Thank you and hope to see you again in the next video.